everybody, and welcome to Full Court MACtion, a half hour dedicated to the coaches and players who are making news in Mid-American Conference basketball. Well, family is something that's important to everyone. Basketball teams often become extended families to players and coaches. That's certainly the case for Jacoby and Quentin Heddy at Central Michigan. Their sister Shanice was killed in a traffic accident while she was a player at Eastern Michigan 10 years ago. Shanice influenced Jacoby's and Quentin's love for basketball. Eastern Michigan and Central Michigan have found a way to honor the memory of Shanice Heddy.
New number 32, +1 for Jacoby Heddy.
What I remember about her is how she's big sis, so she could pick on you. She would pick on us, make us do things that we wouldn't want to do, especially with basketball, and that's what I really do miss about her. Summertime, she made me go outside and dribble a basketball. She put tape around my fingertips and told me I gotta dribble until the tape came off. And that tape never came off, so I was sitting there, and she knew that. So I'll just be sitting there dribbling, and my arm hurt.
I play the same as you do if you don't. I was small, I was little, I was going to her games, watching her play, how hard she played, and I always wanted to play like that, so that's how I play now.
We knew about the tragedy with his sister during the recruiting process as we were getting to know them. So we talked about different ways to honor her, to honor the family, knowing that we'd be playing against the school that she played at when the tragedy happened. And so we're always trying to do things for our players to let them know how important they are to us as people and not just basketball players.
I think Quentin may wear it the second time. But the first time was, it's a dream come true. Coach C-Mac had brought the idea up, and I was like, yeah, man, that's a great idea.
Yes, sir.
While Jacoby had the number 32 on his back against Eastern, it was Quentin who was making his first start and scoring the first points of the game for Central.
And there it is. Quentin Heddy, the first bucket in his first start.
We all play basketball, my whole family. We're a bit tall, big, strong, whatever the case may be, but yeah, we all play basketball, so it means a lot and very competitive. None of us like losing at all.
Man, a big impact. She showed me the way at a very young age, and she was already in college and doing her thing. She played in the Big East, and then she came to the MAC, and she just showed us the way. Going to her games was exciting atmosphere every time, and she was always out there playing hard. I'm like, man, I want to be like that one day.
Heddy pulls. He hits the three.
We all competitors, no matter what. It's beach volleyball or we might go bowling. Even if we skate, we'll be like the first one to fall or whatever, got this consequence or whatever. So everything's competitive, no matter what we do, even video games.
Jacoby, we used to always fight a lot playing when we were young. We both wanted to win. We play 1v1s or we played Vs, if you know what that is. It's free fall. We didn't know each other. But yeah, it was tough. It was very competitive.
They're inseparable, they live together. And for the majority of the year, you look on the sideline, who's sitting there? Their parents at every single game. So with the Heddys, they're a close family, and it's neat to see them in the stands supporting their two boys and the boys supporting each other.
This Saturday, it will be Quentin who gets the chance to wear the number 32 jersey in memory of his sister. Last Tuesday, fans at James A. Rhodes Arena in Akron had the opportunity to honor one of their own. The two-time Mid-American Conference Tournament MVP, Enrique Freeman, had his jersey 25 lifted to the rafters and was immortalized in Akron.
It's kind of surreal in this moment, seeing everybody excited, seeing the line. So grateful for the student body here and all the fans, the Zip fans who waited outside for 15 minutes in the cold. It's cold here. Just for my jersey, that in itself is insane.
What a great crowd. I want to thank Zips Nation. We worked really hard to make sure we had a good crowd tonight for him and his family. I thought he deserved that for what he's given this place over the last 5 years. And to no surprise, Zips Nation showed out and showed up. And I can't thank you enough. It means the world to me. And I know it does to him and his family. So thank you for that.
I'm just happy I was able to, wherever I was at St. Martin and here at the University of Akron. I was just able to make an impact on the community, the students here. I've came here and have my share of great experiences and bad experiences, and I was on part of SAC to help student experience here better. So just to see students here tonight and everyone just supporting each other and continuing to support is really huge.
Unfortunately, what people don't get to see with him is who he is as a person and what he means, to me personally, to our staff, to his teammates. I think whenever my career's over, whenever that time comes and God will call those shots, it'll be one of the most fulfilling things that I've went through as a coach. Just to see a guy that came in at 180 pounds, dripping wet, throwing up in the trash can, nervous, almost didn't try out. I don't know if he shared that story with you. His mother was a big influence on that. Thank God he did, right? What a blessing. He's one of a kind, man.
My favorite moment is when I threw up in the walk-on tryout because I was still out of shape, and then I made the team and whatever. But and then also one of my favorite moments is when at the end of the game, my first time winning championship, when GT threw me the lob.
Alley-oop, Freeman jams it.
In Cleveland, Rocket Mortgage, and the crowd went crazy, and it was amazing. That's one of my favorite memories here.
Just his humility. I always say that's for a guy that's that good a player to care as much as he does about other people and the way he treats other people. There isn't a person on our campus that wouldn't tell you they don't love him that he's met.
And I'll really say, when I look up there, I just see my team, my brothers. I never forget when coaches told us, like, you guys could be the most winningest team in Akron, and all of us are like, all right, that's our goal. Like, let's do it. Let's win every game we can. And the value of winning raised so much. So, when I look up there, I'm gonna think of my brothers and all the blood, the sweat, the tears we did to accomplish something.
Freeman goes back to playing professionally, where he plays for the Indiana Pacers and their G League team, the Indiana Mad Ants. We're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. When we return, we hear from Miami's women's head basketball coach, Glenn Box. Straight ahead on Full Court MACtion. We continue to push the pace on Full Court MACtion. We turn our attention to the women's side of things. The Miami Redhawks, one of the teams that has really opened some eyes. Let's welcome in Redhawks head coach Glenn Box. Coach, 9-20 in your first year. This year, your second year down in Oxford. 16-9 right now, right in the middle of the Mid-American Conference standings. What has you smiling about this year's team, and are you at all surprised that you turned it around so quickly?
I think first and foremost, what has us smiling is that we have the opportunity to control our own destiny. To be in this current situation, it's what we asked for, going into the season. I'll say the biggest take from all of this is we've been able to continue to accumulate talent, and we have absolute buy-in from our kids. I think we have a great group who loves to be together, who appreciates their coaching staff, and they're a fun group to be around. And so, I'm grateful for all of those things, and because of all those things, I think it's created a situation where we have improvement and growth, and I'm happy for that. I can't say that I'm surprised, though. It was our goal coming in. It's been our expectation since we took over. So it's kind of our standards.
When I look at the numbers, some are eye-popping. Top defensive team in the MAC, giving up under 57 points a game, taking the ball away, 12 steals per game as well. Is it fair to say defense is the calling card? That a lot of that is often effort as well.
Absolutely. I think it's being where you're supposed to be, having absolute buy-in, having the right attitude, and playing with great activity. And our kids do that. I think we're athletic at the guard position. We have some size in the interior, so we have some rim protection. So we're able to do some things and do some things really well. And so I expect to be up there as far as one of the better defensive teams. You know, I was at Indiana. I mean, we were one of the top, you know, defensive teams in the country. We were the best defensive team in the Big Ten. So I didn't think that it would be any different, you know, here. You know, once we were able to get the right personnel, you know, to do what we need to do here. And so I think we're still learning, we're still growing. I think our half court defense has been tremendous. You know, it's been hard for people to score in the half court against us. So, you know, we've got to make sure that, you know, we keep people in the half court, you know, and so that we can take advantage of our strengths.
You mentioned you control your own destiny, kind of in the middle of that pack, Mid-American Conference on the women's side of things. What's the message to the team? And when I say control your own destiny, trying to get to Cleveland here in that Mid-American Conference tournament with as high of a seed as possible. What is the message to your girls?
Real simple. We need to practice well today. It's that simple. You know, I don't think that we can get too far ahead of ourselves. You know, we just played Buffalo. Buffalo just smacked us here. There's a lot of room for improvement for us. We've got to be able to find a way to regain that traction that we had prior to that. We were on a 5-game winning streak. But for us, it starts with practice. You play like you practice, and we had been practicing fairly well. And so we need great energy today. We anticipate, you know, scrimmaging, looking at some things. We need to play better in practice, you know, to give us that confidence to go into Eastern Michigan. Because at the end of the day, you know, we got to handle what's in front of us, the immediately in front of us. You can't get too far ahead of ourselves.
Glenn Box, thanks so much for the time and the insight. Appreciate it very much. Best of luck as you fight your way and make it down here to Cleveland in the MAC tournament.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man.
Just 4 games remain in the regular season. Here is our Road to Cleveland update for the women's side of things. Top seed Ball State has now lost back-to-back games, but remains in first place by 1 game over Buffalo. Toledo is 10-4, Kent State 9-5, and Glenn Box's Redhawks are tied with Bowling Green at 8-6. So there's some light at the end of the tunnel for the regular season. Here is a quick look at how the women's bracket stands right now with play through the weekend. The women's game of the week involves 2 of the top 3 teams in the standings, the Buffalo Bulls, who travel to Toledo to face the Rockets. Becky Burke's Bulls have won 3 games in a row and are looking to avenge their last conference loss to Toledo. Rockets lost to their rivals in Bowling Green last time out. Looking to rebound at home, Savage Arena should be rocking Wednesday as Toledo fans continue to lead the conference in attendance. We're going to take another quick time out here on Full Court MACtion. Other side of the break, we go one-on-one with Kent State's men's basketball coach, Rob Senderoff. Stay with us. We continue to play up-tempo on Full Court MACtion. Let's welcome in Kent State University's head men's basketball coach, Rob Senderoff. Coach, 14th season at Kent State. Never had a losing season, so that's outstanding. All-time winningest coach. What I'm curious, what do you want players to know about playing for you? What is the important thing that you've built this program on?
Well, we've tried to build it on being very, very competitive. You know, want guys that work hard, guys that love to compete, guys that care about winning. We want to get your degree, obviously. The other things I talked about were basketball things. Want to get your degree. That's the academic side of it. But from a basketball standpoint, you know, guys that want to compete, and that's really what the program's about. And that's really what we hang our hat on, certainly when we're playing at our best.
So you're still trying to lock in that spot to get to Cleveland and the Mid-American Conference Tournament. You got 2 really important ones this week against teams you're fighting with, Toledo and Akron. What's the message to your guys about, you know, where you're at this year and what you want to see?
Yeah, just trying to stay focused on the next 40 minutes, the 40 minutes that are in front of us. You mentioned Toledo. Is the game we play here next, and just trying to stay locked into what we need to do to compete in that game, be as focused as we can to play as well as we can against them. Once that game ends, we'll turn the page to Akron. Once that ends, we'll turn the page to the next one. And every game in this league is difficult. I think our guys know and respect how hard it is to win in this league. I think everybody in every league feels that way about their league opponents. And, we're trying to stay as locked in as we can to our next game. And if we can play well against Toledo, hopefully that positions us to have a chance to compete up in Cleveland. And that's really our goal is to get ourselves back up there and then be playing as well as we can when we get up there. So that we have a chance to do well up in Cleveland.
You mentioned that and kind of goes right into what I wanted to talk about next. You've been to the MAC championship game the last 3 years in a row. You know what it takes to get there. You know what it takes to go deep in this tournament. What do you want to see on the court? I know every year's a little different. With this group, what do you guys need to do to be as successful and as good as you can be this year?
Yeah, that's a good question. Right now we're sort of close to what we need to be doing. This last game we didn't close out the game against Miami of Ohio the way we needed to. But we've won a number of close games here of late. And I think up in Cleveland, there's two things that you have to do to win up there. And one of them is you have to be able to maintain your composure and win close games. And two, you have to be able to defend because you're not going to score every night up there. You're just not. So, we've been a good defensive team, although of late we have not defended the way we need to. But we've been a good defensive team over the course of the season. In the last month, we have won close games. We have not done that all year either, but we have won close games over the last month, taking away the Miami game. So, if we can continue over these last 4 games to play for each other, to compete for each other, to stay selfless, find a way, when the games get tight, to elevate our play and to find ways to win close games, to defend, to make those winning plays that we've done over the 5-game winning streak prior to Friday, then, we'll feel good about ourselves heading into Cleveland. And then you got to play as well as you can each night.
Rob Senderoff, as always, thanks so much for the time and the insight. I appreciate it. Best of luck to the Flashes as you fight your way up here in Cleveland.
Yeah, I hope to see you, and I appreciate you having me on.
For our road to Cleveland standings on the men's side of things, Akron suffered their first conference loss of the season, but still is on top of the standings. Miami is in second place at 11-3. Toledo and the Ohio Bobcats are 9-5. Rob Senderoff's Golden Flashes are in fifth place at 8-6. Here's a quick peek at what the men's bracket would look like if the tournament started today. For our men's game of the week, we could have chosen either matchup for Kent State this week. The Golden Flashes are 1 game behind Toledo. Kent State continues to be led by Von Cameron Davis, who's averaging just over 15 points a game. For the Rockets, both Sonny Wilson and Sam Lewis are averaging just over 15 points a game as well. Toledo is coming off a heartbreaking loss to their rivals, Bowling Green. We're going to take our final timeout. Don't go away because we travel back in time to 2016 and the year of the Buffalo. This will mark the 25th Mid-American Conference Tournament in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Each week, we take a look back at past performances in our tournament time capsule. Today, it's a double dip as both Buffalo teams were in the championship game, and both of them came down to the final shot.
Catherine Upps will get it in to Stephanie Reed. She might be the one to take this final shot. She tosses it. Good! The Bulls have got it! Stephanie Reed, a buzzer-beating shot to win the MAC postseason title. The Bulls are going dancing from 8th place.
To the
right side, 8 seconds to go. Lamonte gets it to the foul line, scoops to Perkins. Right wing Hamilton, he shoots a three. He hits! Oh, yes! 1.8 seconds left. Akron has called a timeout.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it, Judge? This is unbelievable. What a day for UB Athletics. First the women, now the men are going dancing.
Before we go, time to take a look at the plays that made us go ooh and ah. It's time for our plays of the week.
With 1 on the clock, the rainbow shot, and good, and good. Terry makes the 3 from a foot inside half court.
Long pass, and the Hail Mary comes through.
Here's Medley. Baseline blocked by Elmer. 2.6 to go.
Has made such an impact.
Watson, though, running the other way, gets the basket at the buzzer. Found a little bit. Exact throws it up. No. Johnson with the tip. Comes out. Exact underneath. Campbell off the window. Got it to go. Got it to go. 1 and 6/10 seconds remaining. And Bowling Green is moments away from escaping.
That'll do it for us on this edition of Full Court MACtion. Join us again next week, same time, same place, next Tuesday, for more of the best in Mid-American Conference basketball. Have a good night, everybody.